More.
All right, it's getting ready to go live. 5,
Mine says it's
4,
live.
3,
Is that better?
2,
Yeah.
1.
Okay.
And we are now recording this computer. And we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Kareem Talks. I'm your host, Kareem. It's Sunday. This is the second to last episode of the season. So I decided to make it special and make it a family episode. So bringing on to the show for the very first time officially. First off, we have my sister, all the way. She is Florida born, but she currently resides in Chicago, Illinois. Yes. Don't throw.
I don't know which one is the right way. I'm trying to put a C for Chicago. I don't know which one. I don't know if I think.
As long as it's not gang signs. As long as it's not gang signs. Welcome to the show, Amina. Welcome to the show. Stop. Welcome. How are you doing this afternoon, evening?
I'm good. I'm an hour behind you, so.
You are an hour behind. Yes.
It's afternoon/evening.
And also introducing to the show for the very first time, the mother who gave birth to both of us, and surprisingly got her. Is that the background? Is that it? Because it doesn't look like it.
What?
That is quite.
Is that what?
Your background screen.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, you say
you got it to work?
Yes, I did, with some assistance.
So the assistant.
Shout out Naima.
I can't. This is just
Shout out.
My IT guy.
You all give it up for my beautiful mother, Sister Bernice Muhammad. Okay, so before we get on, this is their first time. So right now, this is, even though it's an intimate setting here with us on Zoom, on the opposite side, if I go to my YouTube, it'll show that it's playing live for everyone else to watch and comment, but we won't see their comments. So yeah, comes with a subscription.
So if I go on your YouTube, I'll be able to see comments?
Yeah, you'll be able to see comments on YouTube, but it'll also, since it's playing from here live, it'll be delayed on YouTube, and then you'll hear it repeat and then echo and then repeat and then echo and repeat and then.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of fun. Yes.
I'm gonna do that, but I'm not gonna have any audio. Haha.
Yeah, you can search it without the audio though.
No, I'm just gonna turn the volume down on my phone.
So welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. So onwards to the topics. Of course, they're all going to be family oriented, surrounding our growing up and whatnot. And we'll start with the matriarch.
I don't know if I like being referred to as matriarch.
I don't like the word either, but I was trying not to say anything.
Really?
I don't like it either. Let's just go with mom, because that's what I'm used to. And whole matriarch, I don't know if you should just spring stuff like that on me right now.
There you go.
Yeah. Let's just go with mom.
Let's just go with mom. Simple, sweet, to the point.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
No, too much.
Please don't ever call me matriarch again. I would appreciate that very much. Thank you.
It's gonna be one of those episodes.
That was just random and unexpected.
Oh, we're gonna start off with mom. So how would you say, first question being, what was it like, and from your perspective, raising the both of us in particular, or all of
Wait,
us in general?
wait, both of you? Hold it, all of you? That's a very broad question.
Summarize
It,
it as best as you can.
Maybe try
I mean, it's still happening. So I say it's still a work in progress because parenting doesn't stop. It's always happening. You didn't stop being my child all of a sudden because you reached a certain age.
That's true.
And so, you know, unfortunately, a lot of people look at uh, when their children get a certain age, almost like they don't have responsibilities anymore. And I'm not saying all of them, but um, how I see it is that you all are still growing just like I am, just at a different level. So to some extent, even though you're independent, you still need your mom for particular things. You know, like I feel like it's my part of my duty to help you all navigate through certain things in life so that it could be easier for you all than it was for me. So, um, but I would say raising you all has been life changing, and I've learned so much. I learned a lot about myself, and it's been cool. Still a work in progress. Wasn't easy, still not easy, um, because as a parent, I would have liked to be able to provide more for you all because I feel like you're deserving of it. Um, so I feel like there's still things that I need to do for all of us as a family so that we can have so much more to leave behind, you know, for future generations.
Mm. Praise be to Allah. You're kind of breaking up just a little bit. I don't
Yep.
know if it's the signal. Praise be to Allah.
Oh, I don't know.
Would you say that as far as your eldest too, how have we changed from when we started?
That's a long span of time.
You gotta summarize as best as you can, you know. Usually all of my questions
Summarize,
are,
because you're like in your.
again. I'll
How do you
say premise.
summarize that? Oh my gosh! You said, "How have you changed?"
you know, well, cover specific key points and such.
I'll do my best.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I guess the what comes to my mind immediately is your perspectives have changed on things.
Mm-hmm.
So what I realized just as a person and a parent, you know, you grow into understanding of things. So as your mom, you know, I did my best to provide you all with certain things and teach you all certain things. But knowing that your life experience is what's going to help you to make decisions, I had an opportunity to see you all make decisions from childhood up until now. You know, some of those decisions, I look at it and be like, okay, well, you know, but it gets to a certain point where everything is up to you all. Um, and you know me, I'm very straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always going to give it to you the way that I think you need to hear it. You know, I try my best to do it in a way that won't keep you from making the best decisions, but I say helping you to be as informed as you can be is what I can do, in hopes that you make good decisions so that your life can continue to be great. Um, because there's still more to go. I mean, I know that at this point you feel like you've known or learned a lot, but there's still so much more that you all have not experienced that, yeah, by the time you get to those different phases of life, you're going to remember this conversation and be like, yep, yeah, those are the things. But um, I I think you all have grown into a decent amount of maturity for your ages, only because of those experiences where, when you all were younger, I know you all didn't understand as many things. Um, and some things you won't understand without the experience. So, well, that's all I've got. That's all I can think of.
Mm. Thank you for those wonderful answers. Going now to my sister. More specifically, how has our dynamic as siblings changed throughout the years? Is it still the same? Has it grown? Has it, evolved, devolved?
Mm, I would say it's definitely changed. And I think that just comes with us growing up and finding our own stuffuses, especially considering how different we are. I know
Stuffuses is a word in our household, by the way. Stuffuses is a word.
I can. I know that when we were younger, of course we all used to be a lot closer and we were in the same house going together and everything. So always all of our schedules kind of aligned all the time. And I remember he used to always read to us when we were younger with our little voices and everything. And we were always just kind of like being each other's homes. And then as we got older, I know we got a little bit more separated because, I had my programs and things I was doing, and then you had yours. So I would say, I think we're still pretty decent. I think we're getting a place where we had a split where we were not as close for a while, and now we're kind of like starting to get back. But I would never say
you kind of went out.
No.
Kind of went out.
I wouldn't say we had like any falling out at any point. I would know that there's not as close as we used to be, but we do have relationships that I'm grateful for. We can at least, for the most part, communicate with.
You're coming in very low. It's like you're going in. You're like.
Oh really?
Yeah,
now
it's a
I can
little
hear you
choppy.
fully.
It's
Now I
choppy.
can hear you fully.
Oh, I guess because I'm leaning forward. I'm using my laptop mic,
Okay.
But yeah, I was just saying that, of course, when we were younger and our schedules and everything were tied together, of course, naturally we were closer. And then as we got older and started doing our own separate programs and things like that, because mom always put aftercare programs and stuff like that. Of course, we started to kind of divulge a little bit, but I don't think our relationship has ever been in a place to where we're like had a falling out or anything like that, which I'm grateful for. So I think we have a pretty decent relationship, especially how we both grown up and how we developed as people. And I appreciate our relationship because even though we may not be as close as we used to be, we're still able to talk and everything. We're still able to like communicate and be adults and such. Sorry, I just got word by one of our viewers that the noise could be my air conditioning, so I'm gonna turn that off.
Really?
Yeah.
Say what? I didn't hear.
Noise? There's noise? Is there noise?
That might be me.
The audio better?
Air conditioning?
I just turned the air conditioning off. Is the audio?
Yeah, I turned mine off as well, respectively.
That's possible. It was probably interfering with.
Granted, it might be hot in a few minutes, but it's all right.
It's like 87 degrees here. Shout out to Allende for the text. Thank you.
Shout out.
Is that better?
Well,
I
definitely.
Think,
yeah, I think we can all hear each other just a little bit better.
Yay.
What were some of the things you because I know you mentioned, we have different ways of thinking. How did you contend how would you say you contended with our different ways of thinking when we butted heads with certain things, like the whole water is wet thing years ago?
Years, like a year ago. Wait, what do you mean by contend though?
How did you learn how to deal with that? Because I know one of the things that I've been striving to change is to open my mind up to different perspectives and not be like, no, it's either this way or it's wrong.
Well, dealing with you as your sister is It's a very interesting dynamic because on one hand, I always have two choices. On one hand, I can try and just help you understand and go with it. On the other hand, I could choose to just keep getting on your nerves with it. And I kind of go back and forth sometimes. So I have to say stuff like the whole water is wet debate to just keep getting on your nerves because it was like, yeah, you're not understanding the point. So I'm just gonna keep annoying you while I can. But I would say I try my best to be patient because I know that your mind works differently. And I try to, but I also try to make sure that I don't submit and just let go of whatever it is that's you're kind of having a hard time dealing with because I understand that it's important. And my understanding, I should say, is of how important it is to be able to take on new information and constantly adjust to what's going on around you. I've always wanted to give you more of that so you have less of a hard time. So I find it hard to deal with sometimes, but because I've been dealing with it for so long, I really try to make sure I push you to keep evolving and changing and not let your mind just be in the black, white, black, white, black, white, black, white. You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes me think about the longest time, the funniest one is you with cell phones, you know, for the longest.
Man, what?
You and cell phones. I don't know if you remember. For the longest time, because we didn't have cell phones for a bit, as soon as you got your first phones, and I'm gonna hold my phone example, you would literally like be holding your phone and I would text you and you would just be like, and I'm like, Kareem, you should try both hands, try using your thumbs or something, or get the little swipe feature. And you're just like, no.
Mom, hold on. Mom, if you keep moving, your background's gonna get all messed up.
Yeah, I saw that. I was just trying to make sure that because that I'm facing the light or my face is after a while.
Oh, okay.
Can you see me right now?
We can see. I can see. We can see you.
You look good to me. I can see your face clearly.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but I was saying that like for example, with the phone, you would always just like type like this and you would not stop and you would be sitting there sending one 3-word text message for like 5-10 minutes. And I'm like, Kareem, you should just, and you'll be sitting there overwhelmed, like, oh my God, they want me to reply. They were texting me like, why am I not texting back as quickly? And I'm trying. And I'm like, you should try 2 fingers. And I would say that every day. And you would always get upset and be like, oh, just leave it alone, Mina, just leave it alone. And I'm just like, you should try 2 fingers. And then eventually, you know, one day you were just like, Amina, you know what? 2 fingers actually really works. And I was like, doesn't it?
I don't do that anymore, by the way. I don't do that. It's all one, either it's one finger or I speak into the phone.
Listen, you graduated. This is before you had voice to text. You know, you're a team iPhone now. And I couldn't just throw one hand on you because you're already using one finger. So I couldn't just be like, switch to other one finger. It wasn't going to work. So I was like, all right, try 2 fingers. But you know, each its own. The battles gradually.
Yeah.
Either way.
I guess I've always carried that. It's and that's something I'm trying to change. Even when I strongly disagree with something. I recently had a disagreement with someone over we watched Cats the musical.
The musical
And the musical, but they also went to watch the movie as well. And I was just like,
I'll talk about the movie. I didn't even bother. We don't talk about the movie.
And I was just like, why would you do that? Like why? We told you. We told you why. I told you why. And you know, I was just like, no, it's either the musical or it's nothing.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Or it's nothing. Yeah.
You cannot do that.
Yeah.
So many musicals that are also movies and movies that are also musicals.
Yeah. Well, I was speaking in that specific instance for Cats because of how bad the movie was.
Oh, I mean, for Cats, of course.
Yes.
The movie completely. Unless they want to sponsor this podcast, then of course we love Cats the movie. Ha, ha, ha. But otherwise,
Not about the live force sponsor. I'm not about the live force sponsor. That movie is terrible. But no, sorry, no, yeah.
But no, after that, you've definitely gotten better with that, though.
Striving to, striving to. And Mom, have you had to deal with that too? The whole.
Yeah. Well, so I realized, first of all, you don't get that from my side of the family.
Right.
That's from my side of the family.
Right.
But and I realized about you that you are a person that learns from experience. So, and it takes you process information different. Everybody has their own way of processing information. So in order for me to get you to understand something, I have to tell you it in enough time to give you an opportunity to have the experience, for then you can realize. I think I told you I've already realized the mathematical formula of how long it takes you to actually listen to what I've already told you. Yes, it's about 2.5 years.
So I got it down from 3. It went down to 2.5.
It went down to 2.5. The faster way is, for some reason, which is terrible, getting somebody else to tell you the same thing I told you.
Yep. I don't know if you should have embarked the secret. Now he knows.
It doesn't matter.
No, she's always told me this. It's just for
I told him this a while ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't know it went down to 2.5, but I thought it was.
It went down to 2.5 because you realized that, you know what, she's usually right, or she's always right, and then you started leading like, you know what, Mom, I did what you told me. So you've gotten better. So it went down from 3 to 2.5.
Striving.
Progress.
There's progress, and that's what I mean as far as growth. But you're just that way. Some people learn by experience. Some people learn just by being taught the information. But I don't know. It's something. It's a certain dynamic which, if the parent-child dynamic, I realize that a lot of things you all just have to experience on your own. I can do my best to give you the preventive measures, and you have some children that, once they're told, they're like, oh man, okay, you know what, I'm not gonna do that, or at least they'll think about it. But still, to a degree, everybody, learns best by experience. We just hope as parents that you don't cause too much injury to yourself, or anything permanent injury or extremely damaging before you learn lessons for life, because you can either make your life easier or harder. The way that it is, because we see ourselves in our children, we can see things coming before they actually happen. So oftentimes we'll try to tell you, hey, you know what, that's not a good idea. I don't know if y'all remember that 2-hour Don't Be Stupid speech I gave y'all a long time ago.
I have bits and pieces of it.
It was a long time
I
ago.
remember it vividly.
It was kind of like, okay,
I remember it vividly.
If you see this, then you don't, that was really just to get you, not to say that you all were stupid, but to think before you do things, because it's easy to say no sometimes when it's people that you don't know, but most of the time bad decisions come with trying to impress people that you do know, or maintain a certain relationship with people that you do care about. That's when those tough decisions come. It's easier to say no to a stranger or somebody you don't care about, but it's a lot harder when you care about people, and sometimes you make bad decisions as a result. So, as parents, we'll do our best to try to help you all prevent some of those things, but then, we also understand that the experience is usually the best teacher, unfortunately, but fortunately as well, because sometimes that experience is a good one and not a bad one. Yeah, but you do best to listen and learn.
Mm. Well, that's good.
I'm out here speaking them deep words.
Speak
Pause for the silence and let the information
Well,
go.
I mean,
real.
well, I think the good thing, Kareem, is that
Mhm.
when you realize those things about yourself, because some people never have the realization and then they continue the way that they are.
True.
So that's already a step toward changing whatever that is about yourself, because it takes you to change whatever those things are. It doesn't matter what other people say. Um, it's up to you. You have to want better for yourself, and because if that's what you're actively, proactively doing, then you're gonna reach that goal.
Mm. That's good. Mm. Um, would you say that we got all of our artistic sides from you, Mom? Well,
No,
the way we express it now.
no. Um, there's art. I mean, my whole family is artistic, but I no, the whole family on both sides, on all sides, are creative people. So I it would be strange that any of you don't have some type of creative or artistic side to you, because
You know,
all throughout my family,
there's a
all of
bug.
your family, is
There's a
all
bug.
artistic. It's just in different ways.
No.
It's just different ways. You all have um, creativity, and it's layers and levels. It's not just one type. We have musicians, we have graphic artists, we have just about
Mm.
every type of art. Um, yeah, a lot of music, writers, yeah, all throughout the family. I mean, you see your aunts and uncles, what they do, all of them. If you think about it, who, which of them can you think about that does not do something creative? I don't know if you can think of one, because I can't think of any of them that's not doing something creative. It's just in the family, all of them.
Yeah. Yeah. That's very true.
Producers, etc., etc., wedding planners, etc.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wedding planners, party planners, you know, bakers, just everything.
We all do have our own ways of expressing our gift, skills, talents, and abilities. I didn't know it was so well, I did. I had like I had like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I sort of knew we were all in it, but I didn't know how rooted we were in creativity until I got older, even with some of my own things that I've done and I'm doing. Um, so yeah.
And I'm grateful for mom for always pushing us to keep with those things too, not just letting us like ignore them or letting other people talk us out of them.
Yeah, that's something I had to really learn, because there was a period of where there was something else I wanted to pursue, and I was talked out of it because it was just like, how am I going to make money from this? How is this going to help the nation, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And because my answer, because I responded in a way that I thought would be best,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but it wasn't a good enough answer to that person, and so I ended up being told to just find something else, and then all of a sudden I'm being put in all of these programs and things that I'm not really interested in, but I did it.
I understand.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't learn anything else from me, learn this, because
Mm,
I mean, that's the example I try to set. You can't be a people pleaser,
mm,
because the decisions that you make are going to affect your life, not theirs. So you can't do things for other people And if it's a decision that you have to make for your life, why would it be, why would you let it be a situation where it's more important what that person thinks about what you're doing than what you think about what you're doing? You're the person that has to do it. You're the person that's going to live with it. You're the person that's going to be putting your all into it. And, unfortunately, sometimes we give people more credit than we give ourselves, our own mind. God blesses everybody with their own gifts, their talent, their creativity, your own mind. Your mind is yours. You know what you're capable of. And sometimes you don't know what you're capable of. But the very fact that you have the idea in your mind, that came from God. Because where else is that idea going to come from? And if it's there, that means if you're thinking about it, even if you don't know how you're going to do it, it's there for a reason. It was given to you as a gift to say, hey, you know what, this might be something that I want to do. And if it's something that you can still do, I'd say go for it. I don't put any limitations on myself, and I don't want you all to put any limitations on yourself either. There's nothing in life that's easy. You're gonna find things that's easier for you, but everything takes work, everything takes effort, and you're gonna get out of it whatever you put in. Don't ever let somebody talk you out of an idea. If you listen to all of the successful people, there's always people that told them they couldn't do it. That's why really when I'm doing stuff, I just do it. I don't make any announcements. I don't ask for people's opinion about it because it's for me to do. And sometimes, people are looking at you, because everybody has their own perception of you. And so sometimes they have an idea for you that you may not have for yourself. You can get to know people, and you will get to know people that really, really, really get to know you, and you'll know who it is. Like, I'm that person that I'll get to know you before I'll even buy you a gift, because I'm interested in who you are as a person. I'm going to learn about you. And so when I get you something, you're going to be like, wow, like it's something that you would have gotten for yourself, because I'm taking the time to pay attention to get to know who you are. I'm not going to give you something just because I like it for you. You might hate it. And I don't know if everybody does that, but I generally like to know people. That helps me to know who I'm dealing with and how to deal with you. And so when it comes to ideas about what I want to do for myself personally, I don't always share it with everybody, because everybody doesn't. I mean, it's for me. It's not for anybody else. Whatever I'm doing can help other people and will help other people, but it's something that I'm going to be doing. I will only ask the opinion of those people that that I feel really know me enough that I would ask their opinion of it. And it's not that I don't value everybody's opinion, but I don't always need it. I pray about it, and there's certain people that I will ask or talk to about it, but it's really just to kind of get my own perspective. Like, I think the main person that I'll call is one of my sisters, because she knows me. She knows who I am. She understands me, and we and it's not to say, sometimes people like to have other people around them that's gonna be always saying yes. Not that you want a yes person. It's not even about that. It's about your life. Value your opinion. Value your opinion, because it's yours. God gave it to you with that free will, and you got to use it. Otherwise, you're not going to be happy. That's why I always try to get you all to do what it is that you love to do, because I know that's where you're going to be successful. You're going to be miserable trying to please people and doing something that you're not satisfied with. It's not going to last. It's never going to last long.
Very true.
That is very, very true. Very true. So branching out into other topics, we got to talk more about that background that mom chose. You got to tell the people about that. Got to tell them about that. Is that like Tuskegee?
Yeah,
Is that
that's the Tuskegee. You
where?
know, like, oh man, I wish I could. I was trying to get the Tuskegee heirs to show on there. You
We
know,
got the Flame of Destiny part, but
I'm
you
a
probably
big
have to tell them
fan.
about it.
Yeah, this will be, I guess, a shameless plug. Well, it's not for me anyway, but I'm a big fan of an artist called Marcus the Visual. Y'all can go to marcusthevisual.com. Amazing art. And
Super dope.
how I found the art was really, I was looking for Black artists, um, because I have creative children, so that they can see uh, Black people doing what they love to do, being
Hmm.
successful. I think every time I found out that you all were interested in something, I'm going to look for a program. I'm going to look for a person to see, can they talk to you, what opportunities. And so I was just looking for art. I was like, man, I'm going to find some Black art on here because, unfortunately, with a lot of art and artists, and they can bear me witness to this, you start off drawing the things that you see. And so a lot of the art that they see is not necessarily Black art, even though they're Black people.
Hmm.
And there's nothing wrong with that, because that's their stepping stone. They learn, they're excited about art, so they draw their different arts that they love, fan art, which is cool. And I wouldn't discourage any artist with whatever they choose to draw, because that's their prerogative. It's their love. It's what they get excited about. Um, and also, I don't like that some people are pushy with Black artists, like, oh, how come you don't draw this or draw that?
Mm.
When you're a creative person, whatever comes out of you is what's already in you. So you can't force or make an artist draw a certain way just because that's what you want out of them. Now, if you're paying them to draw something that you want them to design, okay, it's great that you have an idea that actually makes it easier for the artist. But get out of the habit of criticizing creative people in general, how they do their music. You can offer something constructive if they ask, but get out of the habit of criticizing. So I didn't want to say to my child, oh, how come you're not drawing Black people or Black this or Black that? Where would she even get an example of what Black art looks like or what it is? My job is to make sure that she's exposed, that she gets to see it, and that if it encourages her to do it, then great. I love the fact that she's creative and she's come up with her own characters that are unique to anything that I've seen, so that's great. But I wanted her to get a chance to see Black art and how amazing it is. And this artist, I mean, wow. It's
Definitely.
it's the most
Definitely got
vibrant.
Mark's visual art.
Yeah, his stuff
It's
is
the most vibrant art that I've ever. I mean, I've seen a lot of art. Like there's another artist. There's a couple
Hmm.
of other artists that I follow. One of them is Brother Salam Muhammad. He does a lot of paintings. His art is very realistic. And there's another artist, Zia.
Hmm.
I don't know how she has it on Facebook. If it's Zia the artist, her
Yeah,
art
phenomenal.
is phenomenal as well. But
She did
they're
a mural
all,
one time. Super dope.
listen, their art is amazing, and I just love it. But I post a lot of work of Marcus the Visual because it's the most vibrant that I've ever seen. It's alive, like the
She stays
colors,
tagged me on
the
Facebook.
textures. It's amazing. I love it. I mean,
Hmm.
when you look at it, it pulls you in, and there's a story that goes with it, and the story is good. So it's not just the art, it's also the writing, because I love creative writing as well, and it just goes so well. And even when he posts different fan art, he stays true to the character.
Mm.
He finds a way that you can look at it and be like, wow, yeah, that's something that he did, because he still has his own type of style to it.
Mm-hmm.
But he captures the essence of those characters that he posts. And to me, that's just like, wow. You know, like I can look at your things, like, I mean, your clothing line that just came out.
Breathe. Another plug.
Threads LLC.
Yes. It's your essence is in there. It's you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Kareem with your podcast and all that. That's you all day. You know, it's who you are, and you pour yourself into your art, and it comes out. It's just like, okay, as a teacher as well, I can read somebody's writing and I know if they wrote it or not, because I know how that person communicates, how they express themselves. I can tell if they cheated or if they just use the dictionary too much.
It's true.
Like, okay,
it's very
who wrote
true.
this? Because you write how you talk, because it's you coming out on paper. So the artists, when they do their art, it's them, you know, and to me, that's the most vibrant art that I've seen in a long time. Not to say that there isn't others out there. There's a lot of great artists out there, but it's my favorite.
Definitely, it has become a household favorite.
Yeah.
Going to Amina, because I actually wanted to ask, where did you get the inspiration for soulful? Is it soul threads? Soulful threads?
Soul threads.
Soul threads.
Yeah, soul threads. So I actually have been wanting to create a clothing line for a while now, and just create my own things, because as anyone who really knows me knows, I really enjoy fashion. I really enjoy putting looks together and stuff. I had always kind of struggled with fine tuning, I guess, as well as finding my own sense of fashion, because of dealing with a lot of outside people and then passing their judgments because of, you know, the way that my body is shaped and things like that. So after kind of really embarking on that journey of being more comfortable, along that journey, I was dealing with a lot of self-image issues, a lot of anxiety, some depression on and off and stuff like that. And I had the thought, I was like, I want to create something that helps other people as well as me, as like a reminder, you know, because when it comes to those things, anyone who knows, when it comes to anxiety, when it comes to self-confidence, stuff like that, anybody who knows, it knows that it's a consistent process. And it's not one of those, oh, I'm done, I'm not anxious anymore. Oh, well, I'm fine. So that was really a big part of the goal for what I wanted to create. And then the thing is, I had never really given myself the permission to do it. I kept thinking I want to do this, but I don't really know how, or I can't afford to do this right now. I don't. And towards the end of last year, while I was working at the airport, I had a lot of free time on my hands, and the thought came back to my mind and was like, you know what? You should just do it. I mean, what's stopping you? I think I got one life. Just do it.
Like Nike.
And I was like, you know what, God? Through the voice of me in my own head, you're right. Let's do this. So I would take all of my free time at work, because at my previous job, we spent a lot of the day just doing nothing. And I started sketching out designs. And for the first part of my release, which is Breathe, the reason I chose that was because through a lot of the things that I've been going through, one of the constant between all of that was that reminder to breathe, to take my time, to really take in what's going on, or to not be too hard on myself, because y'all know I can be extremely hard on myself. And
that's I think that's a lot of us in the family. We are our biggest critics.
Exactly. And I was like, I know it can't just be me going through this. So I was like, you know what? This is going to be the first part out of all the things I want to launch. This is going to be the first part of it that I wanted to launch. And so I began sketching, and I had like all these fancy letter ideas or whatever. And it was just like, you know what? No, it needs to be simple, straight to the point. Here's a reminder: breathe. Period.
Breathe. And I like the simple aesthetics on there, just to breathe. And I like you used you know how everyone likes to space the letters out. Yeah, I like that a lot. I'm definitely gonna be copying one of those.
I actually spaced the letters because it's like if you're inhaling, you're creating space. So why not
Mm-hmm.
within the space? See what I did there? There's layers. But
See,
yes,
okay, I see you. All right, okay.
there's a lot of depth to it. So I had completely compiled the idea and everything towards the end of last year, and then once I started sketching all what I wanted, and then once I had that, I was like, okay, how am I going to get this made now? This is the next jump. I have all my designs set. How am I going to do to make it? And then within that week, you messaged me about a supplier, and Mom messaged me about a supplier just randomly. It was like, hey, if you ever need any custom or know anyone who needs some custom, try this. And I was like, okay, God, here we are. And then from December through February, I had just been playing with it, trying to figure it out, budgeting everything. Shout out to Mom for being one of my sponsors and funders, helping me get that started.
That's what moms do.
And yeah, after finally kind of toying with things around, getting designed just the way I liked it, and amidst the struggles of coronavirus and suppliers, I was able to get a website that I'm pleased with and able to learn through. And shout out to my models Allende and Hadia for really being there supportive with me through the whole process. That's what pictures are on the website. And I was able to launch it last week.
What a successful launch it was. I'm sure you've had customers already.
Yeah, it's been quite an experience, you know, a little stressful times, but it's all a learning experience. And I'm just grateful to be able I'm grateful for the feedback that I've been given, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to hopefully change a lot of people's lives with just that little reminder, you know. And more is coming in the future. Shout out to Naima for drawing up my logo.
Breathe by Amina Angren. Got to do a commercial. No, too much. I mean, Dero, you got access to Dero visuals, so that would be quite the commercial.
I've been thinking about it. I just don't know how I'm gonna do it yet, but we'll get there.
Of course. We have, let's see, we started at 8:08, 7:08 your time, meaning we have now 12 minutes left. Were there any questions you had for the host before we get to our final thoughts? Mina?
Yeah. I want to know, how do you think you've grown in the past 5 years? Because
5 years.
Yeah, the past 5. I don't want to say your whole life because that's a whole
22. That's from 22 to now.
Years. But yes, I know that's a big jump.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of life events happening. So in the past 5 years, I want to know how you think that you have grown the most, changed the most. What do you like more about yourself now that you didn't like before? Old habits you've gotten rid of, whatever comes to mind. I want to know.
Well, for starters, I don't bite my nails anymore.
Proud.
But now they get like really long, so I have to get like
That's fine. That's what nail you can start getting manicures.
Might have to look.
I mean, they are called manicures.
That's very true.
Men,
but I would say the biggest thing in the last 5 years, one, I'm striving to be a lot more patient. It's not easy, because Lord knows there are times where I just wanted to blow a gasket. Just wanted to just like, but I picked up a lot of habits that help with my patience in dealing with people and in dealing with myself. Most recent habit is going out to water the plants when I need some fresh air. Let me tell you, watering plants, so therapeutic. I've also Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Mom.
That's right.
You know, and it's I've also learned how to really love myself and be comfortable with who I am, which is why I feel like I'm able to do more now than I've done and ever, you know. It took me a minute. I think, it's cool enough to, I didn't think the stuff that I do now, the cosplaying, the bear suit, and the podcasts and all that, back then I would have thought, no, it's not cool. That's not cool. I have to do this and that. I have to conform,
Mhm.
and when I shed away those thoughts, I was able to. I felt free,
Mm.
and then it just kept escalating and escalating and escalating, and I gained a lot of respect and notoriety because of that. I'll never forget Savior's Day, where I showed up with the crown. We're calling doing a podcast. Come on now. They should have known we had guests. Terrible.
It's because it's 2 minutes till. Sorry. Sorry.
Terrible. But I'll never forget coming to Savior's Day with the crown, and people were just like, "We've never seen that before. That's new. Who is this brother?" And I was just, I wasn't trying to be like an attention seeker, but I was just being myself, and just people just liked it and they vibed with it. And then, going from that to the bear suit, that was a whole other thing.
Listen.
Um,
The crowd for me, I was confused, but I very much enjoyed the bear suit. So shout out to the bear suit. Everyone else, they're lames. I shout out to the bear.
Yeah. And it's like the bear suit just segued into everything else. Of course, I'm still an evolving person, but that was that I guess you can call it the I have arrived moment. I mean, like this is me. Take it or let it alone. I still haven't stopped being everything else, but this is also me. And
well, sometimes you do stop being other things, and that's okay. But see, that's what I was saying earlier about, growing, because I've always encouraged you all to be yourself. But it took you realizing that on your own to decide to do that. There was nothing that I could say about it. It's something that you had to realize on your own for you to start applying to your life.
You've grown a lot, Kareem. I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of me. It took a lot. All praise is due. Yeah, we have 8 minutes left. Are there any closing thoughts you all have for the show?
Mom, do you have any closing thoughts? My thoughts are a bit scattered. I'm trying to stay focused.
That's honest. That's honest.
Y'all know my mind be like.
Yeah. So
closing thoughts. I don't know. Did anybody have a question that they wanted to ask?
Well, I checked the live stream, and we didn't really have much people watching, and no one's really left a question. But I just want to know what your thoughts were of being on the show and enjoyed it.
Well, I think I would want to know, like, how far are you going to take this podcast thing? Like, what are your plans about it?
Well, I'm already
and like what made you decide to start doing a podcast, and how far are you going to go with it?
Yes.
What made me start wanting to do a podcast was I started on IG Live before Zoom even became a thing, and my first thing was like, there's so many people in the nation doing all these cool things, but they aren't really, they don't get that spotlight, they don't get that recognition, and there's so many people with these thoughts on current events, and they have these ideals that they want to present, with Islam being at the center, of course, but they don't really get that spotlight to present themselves. And that's what I wanted the podcast to be. And I was inspired by the Arsenio Hall show. And I wanted something like that for our We didn't mean for that to be in the recording, but
Well,
we
podcast moments. And
I just wanted something to present for all the youth and the talented people in the Nation of Islam. I wanted to put them on Front Street. That's how it started. But then it kind of grew to where people wanted me to talk on this topic and that topic. The silly like pop culture stuff, and then some of the serious topics as well.
Well,
And
I think that's what I like about it, because people don't realize, sometimes people look at people in the nation a certain way, like we're not human.
Like we're robots. We're all dogmatic. That's not true at all.
And we're people. We are people. We are all a work in progress. We're not part of the nation because we're perfect. We're part of the nation because the nation is helping us to really focus on who we are in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
The video.
Mom froze.
She was teaching. She was teaching too hard. The universe couldn't handle it. It was a little too much.
It's too much heat. Mom was about to spit that heat.
It's too much heat.
I don't think Mom knows. I don't think Mom knows that she's frozen.
Yeah.
Ma.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to text her, let her know you're frozen.
Guess her point really hit home, and
her point hit so far. It's like, nah, we can't have all this truth on here.
Oh man, nah, I feel that. I think all I hope is that you keep pushing and striving for bigger, and I hope that your podcast really soars.
Thank you.
And
super.
So I hope that it soars, and I hope that it stays near and dear to your heart, even if you do decide to change and do something else, because of course you always have privilege in your life.
Because I'm planning. I know I'm gonna take a big break from social media after the season 1 is done, because around that time I'll be married. Inshallah, I'll be moving and I'll be focusing on my new life. But I'm already in the back of my mind planning for who I want in season 2, and I'm trying to get a bunch of new faces because Allende's been on there enough. And Zinga's been on there enough.
I mean,
Khadija has been on there so much. So, huh? Yeah.
I feel that. I mean, I hope that you
want fresh faces.
To always strive for better and strive for more, even in regards to your podcast. Don't ever let yourself settle. Let yourself have the time to be happy. And I try to remind myself of these things too, but I always hope for them for you. Always let yourself be happy and enjoy your achievements, and always push for more and more greatness and more. Always expand your goals, I would say. And you know what? I'm proud of what you're doing.
Thank you.
I'm so happy for you.
It's been a lot this year, and I really wanted, because the last episodes were so serious, I wanted more lighthearted episodes. Hey, Mom's back. Mom was just spitting so much heat that
you were saying
you were spitting so much fire that you ended up freezing, and then all of a sudden you were gone. You're just, oh no!
Froze because they were trying to fire.
Okay, I don't know about fire, but I was just telling the truth. Hold on, I'm trying to make sure that my background
is back. Gotcha.
Can't be having all type of foolishness going on.
Exactly.
Can't have the foolishness going on. Hold on. Dang it, why can't I get this the way that I want it?
Because it happens. These things happen.
These things happen.
Yeah, but as I'm working.
LLC.com, shameless plug. Go get your hoodies. I got hoodies. I got beanies. I got jewelry. I got multiple colors. All that. Go do that.
Go ahead, Mom, and close us out.
Please.
Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. No, what I was saying was that what I love about it is that you get a chance to show people, or people get a chance to see that we are human beings. Nation of Islam doesn't mean that we're perfect. Everything is God-centered because we know, or we recognize that we have a creator. And what I understand about our creator is that he wants us to live the best life possible, which is why he furnishes us with absolutely everything that we need, everything. And so it'd be ridiculous trying to be somebody other than yourself. So the focus on the nation is, we have one of the many sayings that's accept your own and be yourself, to be your true and authentic self. So that's learning about you, what it is that you're here for, utilizing those gifts and talents that you're blessed with, because that's a part of your contribution to being here. That's a part of your life, so the fact that you're showcasing people and their talents, to say that, yeah, we have artists, we have doctors, we have scientists, we have everything that you possibly can imagine. We're people, but we work, we have businesses. Sometimes people like to put things that they don't understand in a box of whatever society tells them that thing is. I encourage people to find out on their own. You always miss out making assumptions and presumptions. It's always best to ask questions, and that's how you learn. So your podcast gives people an opportunity to ask questions and learn. And even the people that are on your show get a chance to talk about themselves and learn about themselves, because they get a chance to hear other people's viewpoint themselves. And sometimes people don't realize who they are until they get a chance to express those things about themselves. So I think to me, that's the best part of it, that you're showcasing that we're human beings. We're not robots. We're not perfect.
That's what I want.
We're working on being our perfect selves. We're working on that. But, and you have people, but that's everywhere. That's in every religion. You have some people that try to act like they're better than everybody else, or a certain type of way. But we're always a work in progress. And never judge anybody. Because if you spend enough time working on yourself, you don't have time to judge anybody else.
Facts.
There.
Facts. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a wonderful episode of Kareem Talks. The final episode premieres next week. Merch coming soon. Website coming really soon. Thank you all for tuning in. Peace and blessings. See ya next week.